Hey, welcome to the channel. I am musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. We are in the 2014 album from BAND-MAID called Made in Japan. We are getting close to the end of this album, which has been a fun introduction. I know many of you are excited for me to see their evolution, their later work, especially a few albums in when they begin to take over all of the writing. So up to this point in my videos, I've been like, oh, they're such great writers. I know you guys have all expressed they did not necessarily have a hand in writing early on, although they did have a part in saying like, yeah, we'll perform that, we'll sing that. And it seems like it was a beneficial relationship, or a, what's the word I'm looking for, amicable relationship with those that were helping write the music and produce. I have added those credits onto all of the documents for these videos. So like always, we'll hop in, we'll give this song a listen purely for the music, purely for the vibe, because I am not proficient in Japanese. And then we'll hop over to the documents that I created and take a little bit of a deeper dive into the lyrics. So let's give track number 7 a listen.
綺麗事ばかりは歌えない分かってる君が思ってるほどそんなに強くないからそれでもあの日見せてくれた笑顔に何かが崩れ落ちたの
I love that groove. It's just cool. They're just right in the pocket. And I know a lot of you have commented these early songs do have very much like a pop, punk, very bright vibe to them. And I think some of you have even commented that they have the ability to even communicate more serious, or for lack of a better term, darker concepts and lyrics, even still with kind of a brightness about them. But I do know that this album carries that pop punk, and you feel it, you know, fully. The drum drives, all of it is very much takes me back to my probably, you know, preteen, teen years with like Newfound Glory. And listen, I'm not comparing the two, okay? I'm just saying, and I loved that and appreciated that music at the time for sure. But that's definitely the vibe that I get from this. I'll be curious to know what it is they're singing about. I'm also trying to listen out better vocally, because I know you guys even commented the track before this one. Is it Miku? I'm sorry, I don't want to click off this and go search for it. But that, I think it's Miku, has a feature on each album. But I'm trying to listen out better, because here I can hear 2 sets of vocals. And so I assume that that's Miku and Psyche. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Hopefully I got those right. Psyche and Miku, you know, Miku in the back. I was expecting them to drop down into a quiet because whatever she was saying before that was a very like definitive, like fewer concepts, more emphasis on what's trying to be said. And then I was expecting it to drop back down into more like the quiet whisper and then drive back up. This is what I was saying. I knew it. This is what I thought was coming, a little bit before. We'll see if they drive back in. It's a good sound. I'm so bad. I always miss the drops. Oh, I'm so bad at that. I love the sound on that one. Okay, let's hop on over, give it a look. So this song is the only one that I've seen on the album that is written in kanji. And then here we have, I don't know how to pronounce this, Yoke Mei, Before Dawn. So it says Before Dawn is about rediscovering hope after loss. And if you, this is your first time on one of these videos, this is a document that I have created, and we have a summary of the song. We have a more flowy, like natural English, and then the literal translation, because the literal translation kind of misses some of the finer concepts, the things that are being communicated beyond words. And then we'll have some translation notes. And then, like I said, I added these. So these should be accurate. If they're not, I apologize. But you have all of this extra information here on who wrote lyrics, production team, all that good stuff. So let's go see what this actually says. It's saying, okay, Kentaro Akutsu was the one who wrote this song. He had his hand, obviously, in several of the songs here. And I think that's the one you guys have mentioned they still have a really great relationship with, and that maybe it is Miku who speaks very well of him. Okay. Before Dawn is about rediscovering hope after loss. The song acknowledges pain, not as something to erase, but something that transforms you. It's built around the image of night slowly giving way to light, the idea that healing doesn't come with sudden joy, but with gentle persistence. Cool. Yeah, and there really is a lot of times. So this idea, healing doesn't come with sudden joy, but with gentle persistence. But I think there is probably that moment, and they both work, because once you have had that gentle persistence through whatever the difficulty, through whatever the pain, the night, the dark night of the soul, I think there probably is that point where you just realize, you're like, oh, I think I've made it on the other side of this. That there is this like surprise of joy. The lyrics move from emotional exhaustion to renewal. The singer admits she isn't strong, but finds courage in connection. Someone's kindness and belief reignite her own. It's not a love song in the romantic sense. It's a song about belonging again to life. The final line, I can hear the footsteps of our future, captures that fragile, beautiful moment where faith begins to outweigh fear. Cool. Says, I can't just sing pretty words. I know that much. I'm not as strong as you think, but that smile you showed me that day, something inside me quietly broke open. Dude, I've said this through all this, and again, I know the girls aren't writing yet, so I will be interested to see their writing. But the team so far that has been writing, these are not just fluffy, feel good. I mean, they're deeply insightful. So I can't just sing pretty words. It's this idea that like I can't just put on a mask. Like I can't just. And in some ways, right, you do have to when you're going through difficulty and you have to still show up to life, show up for your kids, show up for your spouse, show up for work. Like you have people relying on you, and hopefully there's grace for you in those situations, but there is still just the responsibility of life. And so in a way, you do have to put on, the right hat for the moment to show up and do what is required of you. And that's part of maturity. But the actual like just get over it is not possible. It is that gentle persistence, right? So I can't just sing pretty words. I know that much. And I'm not as strong as you think, but that smile you showed me that day, something inside me quietly broke open. I think this really does help speak to just not knowing where people are in life and extending that grace and kindness and patience to people that, I don't know, to me, it's almost like this picture of an egg, right? And she was met with kindness when she felt, or obviously in the writer, met with kindness when you felt very broken or walled off. And so even though the person doesn't realize it, that act of kindness started to kind of break away at that shell and, help move somebody toward healing. Before dawn, beneath a nameless sky, I burned that color into my mind. When I think of you, it hurts. I realize that ache was love. I will. If it's with you, I can take another step toward a new morning. The scars of unhealed sorrow are slowly turning into scabs. That's cool. Scabs are gross, but the picture comes across clearly, right? That these wounds begin to heal, scab over, skin begins to form. And so it is just this reality of a slow healing process through the love and warmth and friendship of someone else. I'll reach out his hand to the you of tomorrow. I'll reach out this hand to the you of tomorrow. We said we're both lonely, talking on the phone until we fell asleep. Your voice repeating over and over. I found it so dear. I joked and complained about not seeing you, but somehow I stopped feeling alone. This is a really interesting line. I joked and complained about not seeing you. So you can imagine like being on the phone. I miss you. I miss seeing you. I need you. But it's this like playful nature. And of course, there is some meaning in that. Of course, like if you love someone or you enjoy friendship, like you want to be around them. But I love it's this breaking away, right? This revealing of joy, of loving and caring again and joking. But the reality is inside there's a strength rising. I stopped feeling alone. It's a really, really cool picture. Because you have, you can obviously have an unhealthy dependence upon a person. And that's just a dangerous seat to put a person in, that they have to be the source of all of your healing. They are a part of your healing. But to know that like as a person, finding your own strength finding your own peace. That's a really beautiful thought. Each time I lost something, I locked away the part of me that wanted to be loved. But without noticing, so it's kind of like shutting yourself off, right? You don't want to be hurt. But without noticing, your kindness opened it up again, and tears began to overflow. Dude. Oh, I'm so interested to see where the writing goes from here. But guys, we cannot deny Kentaro, if I'm pronouncing his name right, and the other writers on this album have written some really beautiful things. I will. I love this too. I will. You'd almost think that that would be the name of the song. It's like this persistence, right? This willing, even before you see it. By believing, I found a new world. See, it's leading with hope. It's leading with faith. Before you can see it, believing that world is possible, believing there can be a new day, believing things can improve. By believing, I found a new world. This is before it exists. It's the nature of believing. It's the nature of faith. Even pain and confusion start to hold meaning. You, who call weakness something to love, I wish to protect you above all else. I can hear the footsteps of our shared future. See? She's seeing a world that is not yet. Before dawn, beneath a nameless sky, okay. I will. If it's with you, I can take another step toward a brand new morning. The scars, okay. And then it repeats this. Let's take a look at the translation notes, because sometimes we find really interesting things in there. I can't just sing pretty words. In Japanese, this phrase means I can't pretend life is only beautiful. That's really cool. This is why we have the translation notes. It's a statement of emotional honesty, art rooted in pain. The nameless sky before dawn, the poetic imagery, before sunrise, the world has no name or definition yet, symbolizing vulnerability before renewal. You know what's an interesting thought, and I'm not necessarily saying this is what they're communicating in it, but it's almost like I love the thought of the world has no name or definition in the sense of like if every day was a diary entry type thing, and when the beginning of the day starts, it's like a new entry. And some days it's like you just want to scratch all over the page. You're like, I just wish this day didn't exist. Other days you're like, I want to frame this day. But I love that idea of like stepping into the new day. It's a new sky as the sun rises, and you haven't yet put a name on the day. You haven't yet defined that day. It does hold limitless opportunity for joy and for sorrow. Could be the best day, could be the worst day, could receive the best news, could receive tragic news. Scars becoming scabs, a uniquely Japanese metaphor for healing, acknowledging the wound rather than denying it. I mean, it might be prominent in Japan. I would say it's definitely a metaphor that's, used universally. You who call weakness something to love. Japanese phrasing in kanji reflects a partner who teaches unconditional acceptance. The song's emotional tone is quiet but resolute. It's not about grand romance. It's about emotional resurrection. So yeah. Oh, look at me. I am learning. So Saiki, lead vocals, Miku, vocals. All right. Man, Another beautiful song, another fun song. We're nearing the end of Made in Japan, and then we'll hop over to the next album. Thank you for being with me for this one. By the time you're seeing this video, the documentary from the YouTuber Orange, for Psyche, because somebody suggested the listening order for those, that documentary is over on Patreon, so feel free to hop over there and see if that's something you'd be interested in. We'll have more content going up from their music videos and live shows and interviews and things like that as we go along. But I hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.